Stuelke for the tip. Iowa will start things off here at Carver-Hawkeye Arena, and Kate Martin immediately trying to penetrate. Dahlia McKenzie getting the assignment on Clark to start. It will be Martin who can't lay it in.
I like that matchup. McKenzie with some size, athleticism. Molly Davis, wow, one of the smallest players on the floor. Chase down block.
That's just her second block this season, and what an effort by the 5'7", maybe generous guard.
Yeah, this might be able to get those confidence juices flowing that Lisa Bluder is looking for from players like Davis, like Gabby Marshall.
Bobby gets into the lane, can't get it to fall, and now Clark will push, staring at a lot of blue jerseys.
Yeah, transition defense, priority number one for Illinois. Trying to stop Hannah Stuelke at the rim.
Kyra Cook in rhythm. Shots not falling so far. Clark, too much space. Can't knock it down.
Illini got lucky there. Shauna Green said that's number one, slowing the ball and then finding the shooters, especially Caitlin Clark.
Cook trying to stand her ground, get the hand in the face. It did not matter against Clark on that fadeaway. She loves to post up smaller guards, has a great back to the basket game that maybe doesn't get talked about enough. Kate Martin snatches it out of the air, attacking McKenzie, and gets it to fall.
Defense to offense for Iowa. Shot selection, ball protection has to be so good on this side of the floor for Illinois. Another turnover. Yeah, Lisa Bluder looking for more offense from players like Molly Davis. They get it from their usual scorer here, Caitlin Clark. But then defense to offense, Kate Martin on the steal. Little hesitation right to the right side.
Kate Martin lining up a three. She's got it.
How about this crowd early on?
Kyra Cook, couple dribble pull up. That's exactly her shot. Clark, logo three, but not that time. Her first look from distance. Genesis Bryant shredding the transition defense of the Hawkeyes.
That's the pace Illinois won.
Last year was really a game that catapulted this entire program to prominence. McKenzie, hard take and a beautiful kiss-off glass.
How about the angle of that drive? Just finding a gap and a straight line drive right to the rim. Strong guard.
Clark sets her feet. Yes!
And then for Iowa, we've talked about it, getting more contributions from players outside of Caitlin Clark.
Through the last 4 games, she's been between 9 and 11 attempts. Compared to the first 15 games where it was just about 2 per game, it is huge to get someone who is a near 90% shooter that many times.
Yeah, well, the team as a whole is the best free throw shooting team in the Big Ten. 79% as a team. They got 20 points from the free throw line in that win over Indiana. The Hoosiers had a really tough time denying and defending the drives, which is something that Lisa Bluder's focused on for Iowa today.
In Big Ten play, it's 83%, Kim, which try and even do that by yourself in a gym. There's some Iowa offense on display. Addie O'Grady on the receiving end of that great pass.
And Iowa sticking with some zone on this end of the floor. A little bit of a mix-up. Couple different looks at his zone as they try to contain the penetration. But Kyra Cook, yeah, you really would never notice that both her and Genesis Bryant, just 5'6". They play much bigger than their size shows.
Clark, the skip pass, and that three good by Feuerbach.
Ready to take your shots. We need people to knock down shots.
Great effort by the freshman Gretchen Dolan, but she can't knock down the mid-range. Cook trying to stay with Clark. She's putting on everything she can to get free, and then the whistle. Clark stepping to the free throw line for the first time today. coming off a near triple-double, but still scoring a season low in the Big Ten, 24 points. 8 of 26 shooting, 3 of 16. And she goes back-to-back.
Indiana was really physical with her, denying her the ball, just made things really tough, which is really all you can do when you're defending Caitlin Clark.
Those free throws giving Clark 3,600 points for her career as the countdown still going for the next record. Beautiful pick and roll, and Hannah Stuelke knows what to do.
Really nice connection. Kate Barton staying patient, drawing to and dropping down to Stuelke.
They force a tough shot there by Cook, who's an incredible scorer, but too much attention that time. Feuerbach, 2 in a row. As you look at Iowa's fantastic numbers after a loss, they have not dropped in 2 in a row since December 2022.
I mean, averaging more than 100 after a loss. They're already on pace for that here this afternoon. Scoring explosion.
Genesis Bryant, dangerous from 3, and the Illini badly needing that bucket.
Yeah, she's going to be important if Iowa decides to stick with this zone for a lot of the game. She's their best three-point shooter in terms of percentage and in terms of makes.
Stuelke gets free. It works time and time again.
Stuelke recognizing and making hard cuts to the block.
Genesis Bryant so smooth there from the free throw line. She's got a couple back-to-back. Feuerbach trying to use her size against Bryant as we're under 2 to play here in the first quarter. Grady to Davis. She's stripped but fouled.
Really nice recognition. Illinois is going to have to adjust how they are defending those screen and rolls because Stuelke has been automatic on the rolls.
And I'm interested to see how that might change this lineup. Coach Green only playing 6. They all scored in double figures in their win over Indiana. And she admitted we can't do that too often here down the stretch, but they've got back-to-back ranked opponents. Positioned by Hobby, but thrown out of bounds. Martin facing up. Rebound taken by McKenzie. She turns on the Jets. That's a tough shot, but she earns the whistle. Her last 6 games, just out of this world. She's been scoring more, 15.5 points per game, but her passing, her steals, just her ability to impact the game with her defense and her energy.
Yeah, she's also averaging more than 2 steals per game across those last 6. She's just really turned things up as her team has turned things around here in the last couple of weeks.
The Illini trying to keep their composure on the road in a sold-out Carver-Hawkeye Arena. Here is Marshall in the corner, and Bostic able to hold off Martin. Bryant's trying to find the gaps in this zone. McKenzie puts her head down and attacks for 2. And you can see how far McKenzie bringing her defense. Clark tries to split, but there's a whistle. What is the secret? And I remember Amy Williams saying that no one's really cracked the code. We've seen in these losses, Nebraska and also Indiana, but still remaining an enigma because of the read she's able to make like that. Bryant will heave and almost gets it to fall. After the first 10 minutes, Iowa with the lead at home of the Illini.
You don't see a lot of mid-range game. You see her get into the paint, you see her kick out. But there's certainly a lot of distance on those threes.
Continues to chase the all-time NCAA scoring record as well as the all-time women's record, which is set back in the AIAW by Lynette Woodard. Scoring inside, Kendall Bostic. Clark whipping it across the floor. There's that ball movement leading to an open 3. Kate Martin knocking it down.
And that was numbers.
McKenzie weaving and Clark retrieving and dropping the dime. An eye-popping pass pace for this Iowa offense. Already 6 rebounds, 9 points for Caitlin Clark. Mackenzie gets the step, and there's that easy finish for Hobby.
Yeah, I think Illinois, even if they're seeing a zone, they have to stay aggressive.
Same play, same result. This time, Molly Davis. Efficient offenses in the entire country has got it going early. Dolan has to charge in to get that one. That just falls off the front iron. Iowa controlling the glass, controlling the transition game. They can't fault the kind of effort we're seeing on both sides, feeling like March here in the Illini. I know that they have not guaranteed by any means a berth in the NCAA tournament, and they are playing like it. Clark keeping her head up, and then drives and dishes to Stuelke.
Getting that dump down pass to Hannah Stuelke. This is what Shauna Green talked about to us before the game. You cannot get in rotations with Iowa because of how well they can dump off the pass, especially Caitlin Clark. That was a beautiful sequence. Yeah, and I see Lisa Bluter applauding her. Good shot. She likes her taking that shot. Answer from Makira Cook. They're going to need some of those as
Makira Cook, 9 points, tied for the game high. Is that ball going awry from Clark? Saved by a falter. Clark dishing one more time. It's just too easy for Clark in the Iowa offense.
And it's a danger zone when Caitlin Clark can slice up the defense, get into the middle of the lane. It forces people to pick her up. Hannah Stuelke finishes another 3 from Makira Cook.
Makira Cook has got that kind of confidence. 12 points to lead all scorers so far. And no surprise, the Hawkeyes strike back. Taylor McCabe draining her first. Still 3 minutes to play before halftime, but that kind of balance from Clark's game on display is Hobby knocking down the free throw line jumper. Davis, yes! That is 8 threes for the Hawkeyes in the first half. Dolan trying to answer and does with it too, but Kim, this is something we've talked about.
You just see the fire. You see her moving without the ball, looking for her shots.
Bryant surveying, attacking, and blocked. Sharon Goodman getting in on the action. Bryant attacking. Now Mackenzie lifting it up and over Goodman.
They need a hand up here.
5 to shoot for Martin using that screen. It's rejected. Bryant, another attempt at the end of the quarter. And that is how the first half will end. Number 4, Iowa with the 50-34 lead over Illinois.
It can't just be Caitlin. I need you to be ready for your shots. I need you to look for your shots. I need you to make your shots. And there have been a lot of players that, whether they started, whether they came in off the bench, have just come in ready to make an impact offensively.
Clark, the 3rd leading scorer on her team in the first half. And on pace for a triple-double as well. And everyone making plays. Davis whipping it inside to Stuelke. The efficiency continues. Playing their best basketball of the season coming into this one, coming off a 20-point win over Indiana. We'll see how they respond. They go right to Genesis Bryant, and that's a great idea to try and chip back in.
Yeah, so Iowa sticking with the 2-3 zone. 2 reasons I like that. They attacked the middle, and then they kicked out and made a 3, which they didn't do much of in the first half.
Kate Martin whistled for the foul. The Illini have let's kind of turned around at times to allow this kind of efficient scoring, high percentage shots at a high clip as well, as Hobby gets her own high percentage look right in the paint off the spin move. Now we talked about it. Clark looking to defer to her teammates, that time right in the hands of Bostic, who will ignite this break. Bryant can't get it to fall, but beating everyone is Cook. But nothing comes out of that possession for Illinois. Kate Martin wide open. A sigh of relief from the Illini in front of their side of the floor. Sprinting, finishing, McKenzie.
Playing with pace, playing downhill.
Falter working it around the perimeter, back in the hands of Clark. It's been McKenzie getting the lion's share of the assignment today. Someone's in her face. Clark knocking down the three. Kyra Cook rattles it in to respond.
Carver-Hawkeye wanted to travel there. A little bit of a hop step.
Clark back to back, igniting this crowd once more. 10 threes. As McKenzie goes up and under right through the paint.
Right now, Illinois finding more success offensively, but they have to figure out ways to get stops.
Molly Davis can't knock it down. A falter. You can't let her have that.
Right when she's at that logo crossing half court.
And in a flash, she's up to 15 points now. Hobby has been looking for that mid-range shot. Bostic, not that second time. And Hobby fouled by Goodman.
Yeah, it certainly seems like there is more of an intention to attack this zone on the interior. They've gotten it into Camille Hobby a couple times early and allowed her to make a play.
Hobby finally stepping into her own. It was an interesting discussion with Coach Green where she said you just assume grad transfers will step in. But it's an adjustment. Feuerbach looking for number 3, and that is her career high. Knocked away by Goodman, who had the position. Bostic with the mid-range. Almost a miscommunication there. Clark with the 3 off front iron that time. And Bryant will now look to push. McKenzie beating every white jersey for an easy bucket.
This game is maybe be a little bit more aggressive in attacking the rim as Lisa Bluter is going to try to settle her group down a little bit.
Look at that field goal percentage.
That is interesting, though. The bottom note, Pistol Pete did not have the three-point shot, so he got all of his buckets on 2s or free throws. That is impressive.
That's our road to the record, sponsored by State Farm. Stuelke has had a field day. Bryant was the hot hand to start this second half. Bostic can't hit, and a fantastic box out by Feuerbach. A career day for her with 3 threes as Iowa is trying to cajole the bench, the role players around Clark to get more. And that's what happened today. Feuerbach, confident take. That lands in the hands of Stuelke.
They said it'll be here through the rest of the season. Really cool. I'd like to see how many times Caitlin tries to pull up from that exact spot.
You can really see, you see it on video, of course, how far that shot was. But if you stand on that spot as we were able to today, it's almost unthinkable. Well, that is a good point, Kim, that when you're shooting from that far, here's Marshall, looks to shoot a 3. It really is your lower body. Another attempt for a falter. She's got it all working. Cook, the floater, so beautiful.
They continue to find success.
Yeah, Iowa, 43% this game. They have 12. But the Illini get it back. They've never quite been able to answer the firepower of Iowa's offense as Dolan takes a bump and is fouled.
That 5th triple-double of the season. Will we see one today?
And this her 60th career double-double. Top 5 all-time Big Ten history. And just like that, Iowa continues to score. They are so tough to slow down and to track down. As Cook,
It's Caitlin Clark throwing those look-ahead passes.
I think Kate Martin does come from a football family. Her dad, a coach, she knows how to just throw it out to where your teammate can go get it. Barreling in there is Cook. She is back. Month or so of the season coinciding, not coincidentally, with the success that the Illini have found. I mean, they entered today winning 5 of their last 7 after starting 2-6 in Big Ten play. A lot of people with this same exact group scratching their heads after a terrific, historic year last year, making the NCAA tournament. Too easily inside. Bryant's glancing up at the clock. Less than second difference shot in game clock. And it will be Illini ball. Clark trying to plead her argument.
Try to state her case, but a different look there. Iowa going with a little bit of a blitz. Let's see if Caitlin had a case here. So they're saying she was out of bounds before she threw it. We can't really tell from that angle. Illinois ball, regardless.
Kyra Cook finding some space, and she is fouled. We just have to rediscover the joy of our game. We didn't have that in a really hostile environment at Assembly Hall. We're seeing that joy by this team, just exuding. Davis walking it up with 10 to play here in the third. Davis getting it out to Feuerbach. No good for 3. And we head to the 4th. Number 4 Iowa, the commanding lead, 74-61.
As good as Caitlin Clark is, I think to have success in March, to make another deep run, they're going to need consistent contributions from the supporting cast. And we've seen the whole team on display this afternoon.
And she will say the exact same thing. The reason she is the player who she is because the teammates she has had by her side. Stuelke nearly bent in half holding on to that ball. And a foul is called.
Molly Davis, little flare on the layup, doesn't get it to go. Ooh, that would hurt for the back flexibility. You have to be young to be able to take that hit and get right back up.
Caitlin Clark rattles in of 3. She's got 18. Hobby fouled as she tries to score. And as we continue the countdown with Caitlin Clark's career, she's got 4 threes today. She needs 4 more to become the Big Ten all-time leader, surpassing Kelsey Mitchell, 497 in her career. Clark penetrating. It lands in the hands of Kate Martin, and it has not stopped raining threes.
The ball has not stopped moving in the paint around the perimeter. Extra pass.
The Illini able to respond right back. They've got 7 threes of their own. Molly Davis all by herself.
And just taking a look at Shauna Green, just kind of hands up like, what are we doing out there, lady? Just another time a shooter left all alone.
The putback is there. It's absolutely the kind of recalibration that this team and program wanted, coming off of a loss to Indiana, losses in 2 of their last 3. Stuelke patient underneath, up and in, and what a game for her, 18 points. She's missed 2 shots on 10 attempts. They've also controlled the glass. That's her 9th rebound. Clark getting all the way, that just falls off. One more try.
Caitlin Clark's 9th assist of the afternoon. Keep in mind, she has 18 points and 13 rebounds, 9 assists.
Kim, I didn't know you were so superstitious.
I don't want to.
Last game, she was 1 assist shy of a triple-double. And today, 1 assist short, but still plenty of time. Cook slicing her way through. She has had just a magnificent game. Clark off a curl, whips it around. My goodness. And that is the 10th assist. Molly Davis scoring on the fast break. And an exclamation point with Caitlin Clark.
1 week from today, I believe a Sunday, we'll have it for you on Fox. But that Big Ten tournament is going to be jumping with how well Indiana's playing right now. Ohio State has been dominant. Iowa looking for revenge on both of those two teams.
Big Ten tournament champions got to party in all of the streamers and confetti, and they want to do it again at what has been named Carver North, just a couple hours away in Minneapolis. Fast break opportunity for the Illini. Martin thought she had the block.
Didn't allow her to get credited for it.
That's her third personal. Iowa staring down over 100 points.
That's insane. And we saw that graphic earlier in the game, how they respond after losses, averaging 103 per game.
And they really have just kept their foot on the gas this entire afternoon.
Other contributors involved early. Caitlin Clark was kind of able to ease herself into the game.
Dolan skips her way in. Taken by Martin. Clark sizing up her defender, and Dolan gets some space. That is too tough to stop. Bostic scoring quickly underneath. Clark and Stuelke, both over 20 points for the Hawkeyes. She's got 5 today. All but 3 of her attempts have been beyond the arc. Bostic with the easy put-in.
Kendall Bostic had been pretty quiet offensively throughout this game. They're now getting it into her more often. Cook picking up the pace. Bryant straight on, and she's got it. But you hear from Coach Jan Jensen, who coaches these post players into machines. Her 5th triple-double of the season. 24, 15, and 10. Maybe most impressive is the 15 rebounds from the point guard spot. I mean, that's insane.
I mean, her career high is 17 rebounds. Gabby Marshall comes down hard. It's nice to see Cook stick around there, try and help her up too, show some support. Cook a 26-point game under her belts here in Iowa City. Bostic off targets. Stuelke was trying to repost. Instead, it's a falter. He was able to get right to the hole. Hey, we've got a pretty solid wingspan in this booth, too. I feel like I'm ready for anything that comes our way. AJ Ediger, also new into the game. And Iowa with an opportunity still to hang 100 on a conference opponent. Not just any conference opponent, one that is hungry, one that is desperate to make its case for the NCAA tournament, that had won 5 of 7 coming in. And they were still able to dictate everything.
Well-deserved standing applause for Molly Davis. Kind of a get-right game for her. Her biggest output for sure since that big win down out at Maryland.
She very much needed this one. Just get back to Molly Davis' kind of impact on this team. She was a fantastic player in the Mid-American Conference. She can just flat out score. And I'm thinking, Kim, back to earlier this season, there was one postgame where she got choked up, got emotional, talking to media, was at the podium, just giving so much gratitude. Coach Bluter gave me a chance to play at a level like this. It means a lot to me. And you can see how fans appreciate that in return.
Yeah, Molly Davis will just come out of nowhere sometimes with some flair, a little spice to her game. We saw some flashy moments today. Fun player to watch.
Or the Illini will have to try and regroup, because including today, Kim, they're closing the season with 3 straight top 30 net teams. They've got Michigan State and Nebraska to close the year.
Yeah, tough road ahead. But, I mean, all things considered, it seems like they're down by more than 13. Like we said, they've had some nice moments in this game. Just the attention to defending the three-point line right on cue. A really solid, spectacular shooting night for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Hannah Stuelke with the reaction.
17 threes for the Hawkeyes. Fans on their feet. And the final buzzer sounds 101-85. Iowa making a statement. We didn't go anywhere.